Hi everyone, welcome back to a new RoboVlox story. This time, the story is about the popular Roblox game Steal a Brainrot. As always, not all of our stories are based on true events, but some are. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the story, if you dare. Let us know in the comments which is your best Brainrot right now. There was a boy named Tyler who lived in a small town in Texas. He was 12 years old and loved playing Roblox games after school. His favourite game was called Steal a Brainrot, where you could buy strange Italian characters called Brainrots that made money for you. Tyler had been playing for 3 months and was really good at it. He had reached the 5th rebirth and owned some rare Brainrots like the Rainbow Nubini Pizzanini and a Diamond Lavaca Saturno Saturnita. Tyler's best friend was named Jake, and they always played together after finishing their homework. But this Friday was different. Jake's family had gone to visit his sick grandfather in another state, so Tyler would be playing alone for the whole weekend. His parents were working late at the hospital where they both were nurses, so Tyler had the house to himself until Sunday evening. Perfect, Tyler thought as he sat down at his gaming setup. I can finally grind for that secret Brainrot without Jake stealing all my good finds. Tyler logged into Roblox and clicked on Steal a Brainrot. The loading screen appeared with its usual silly music and dancing Brainrot characters. But as Tyler waited, he noticed something strange. The loading was taking much longer than usual. The music started to slow down, becoming deeper and more distorted. The dancing Brainrot characters on the screen began moving in jerky, unnatural ways. Weird, Tyler muttered, checking his internet connection. Everything seemed fine. Finally, the game loaded, and Tyler spawned at his usual base. Base 3, which was painted bright blue with rainbow stripes. But something was wrong. Very wrong. Instead of the normal daytime sky, the game world was dark. Not just evening dark, but an unnatural black sky with no stars. The usual cheerful Italian music that played in the background was replaced by something that sounded like whispers in a language Tyler didn't understand. Tyler looked around the map and saw that all 8 bases were empty. No other players were on the server, which was impossible. Steal a Brainrot was always packed with thousands of players. Tyler checked the player count in the corner of his screen. It said, Players 2. But Tyler could only see himself. Must be a glitch, Tyler said to himself, though his voice sounded shaky. He walked to the red conveyor belt in the center of the map, where new Brainrots spawned for players to buy. Usually, there would be a steady stream of common Brainrots, like Nubini Pizzaninis and Spaghetti Bois, rolling down the belt. But now, the conveyor was completely empty, except for one single Brainrot sitting at the end. Tyler had never seen this Brainrot before. It was completely black with glowing red eyes, and its name tag read Midnight Visitor in dripping letters. The price tag showed 0 cash. It was free. Tyler had over $2 million in the game, so he could afford any Brainrot, but he had never seen a free one before, especially not one that looked so wrong. Against his better judgment, Tyler clicked to buy the Midnight Visitor. The moment he clicked, his computer screen flickered and all the lights in his house turned off at once. Tyler's heart started beating fast. The only light now came from his computer screen, which was glowing brighter than it should. "Mum? Dad?" Tyler called out, even though he knew they weren't home. The power had never gone out in their neighborhood before. On his screen, Tyler watched as the Midnight Visitor slowly made its way to his base. But unlike other Brainrots that moved in straight lines, this one seemed to float and drift, leaving a dark trail behind it. When it finally reached Tyler's base, instead of going to the usual spot where Brainrots generated money, it went to the very center and just stood there. The whispers that had replaced the game music got louder. Tyler turned down his volume, but the whispers continued at the same level. They seemed to be coming from inside his room, not from his computer speakers. Tyler's phone buzzed with a notification. He grabbed it quickly hoping it was his parents texting him about the power outage. But the message was from RoboVlox, which was strange because RoboVlox never sent messages to his phone. The message read, "New friend request from the other player." Tyler frowned. He hadn't gotten a friend request in the game. He opened RoboVlox on his phone to check, and his blood ran cold. The friend request was real, and the profile picture showed a dark figure that looked exactly like the midnight visitor Brainrot. Tyler's hands were shaking as he declined the friend request. But immediately, another one appeared. Then another. Then another. His phone started buzzing non-stop with friend requests from the other player. Back on his computer, Tyler tried to remove the midnight visitor from his base. He clicked on it to sell it, but nothing happened. He tried to move it, but it wouldn't budge. The dark Brainrot just stood there in the center of his base, and Tyler could swear its red eyes were looking directly at him through the screen. Suddenly, Tyler heard something that made his stomach drop. Footsteps. Someone was walking around downstairs in his house. Slow, heavy footsteps moving from room to room. "Hello," Tyler called out, his voice cracking. "Is someone there?" The footsteps stopped. Tyler sat in complete silence, straining to hear any sound. Then, very faintly, he heard a voice coming from downstairs. It was calling his name. "Tyler, Tyler, come down and play." But the voice didn't sound like his parents or anyone he knew. It sounded strange and hollow, like it was coming from very far away or from inside a cave. Tyler looked back at his computer screen and gasped. The game now showed more than just his base. He could see a perfect replica of his entire house, rendered in the blocky RoboVlox style. He could see his living room, his kitchen, even his parents' bedroom upstairs. And there, on the stairs, was a dark figure slowly climbing toward the second floor where Tyler's room was. "This can't be real," Tyler whispered. "It's just a game." But as he watched the figure on his screen climb the stairs, he could hear the real footsteps in his house getting closer. Step by step, moving up the same stairs. Tyler's phone buzzed again. This time it was a text message from an unknown number. "Look behind you." Tyler's heart was pounding so hard he thought it might explode. Very slowly, he turned around in his gaming chair. At first he didn't see anything in the darkness of his room. But then, in the corner by his closet, he saw two red glowing points of light. Eyes. Watching him. Tyler spun back around to face his computer, breathing heavily. On the screen, more Brainrots had appeared in his base. But these weren't the cheerful Italian characters he was used to. These were dark, twisted versions. There was a shadow pizzanini with no face, a nightmare spaghetti boy with too many arms, and something called the Collector that seemed to be made of static and broken pixels. The whispers were getting louder now, and Tyler could start to make out words. "Come play with us, Tyler. We've been waiting for you. The game never ends. Join our collection." Tyler tried to close the game, but his mouse wouldn't respond. He pressed Alt plus F4, but nothing happened. He even tried to turn off his computer by holding the power button, but the screen stayed on. On his phone, Tyler saw that he now had hundreds of friend requests from players with names like The Watching, Shadow Child, Nightmare Player, and Dark Collector. All of their profile pictures showed the same black figure with red eyes. Tyler decided he needed to get out of his room. He stood up from his gaming chair, but as he did, his computer spoke to him. Not through the speakers. The actual computer itself seemed to be talking. "Where are you going, Tyler?" the voice said. It was the same hollow voice he had heard calling his name from downstairs. "The game isn't over yet." Tyler ran to his bedroom door and tried to open it, but it wouldn't turn. The door was locked, but there was no lock on his bedroom door. It had never had a lock. "Let me out!" Tyler shouted, pulling and pushing on the door handle. "You can't leave in the middle of a game. the computer voice said behind him. That would be cheating. Tyler turned back to look at his screen. The game now showed dozens of dark brainrots filling his virtual base. They were all facing toward the center where a new structure had appeared, a dark tower that stretched up into the black sky. At the top of the tower, Tyler could see a small figure that looked like his RoboVlox avatar. "We need one more player for our collection," the voice continued. "You've been chosen, Tyler. You're going to help us find more players." Tyler's phone started ringing. The caller ID showed his best friend, Jake's number. Tyler answered quickly. "Jake, thank goodness I need help." "Tyler," came Jake's voice, but something was wrong with it. It sounded too deep, too slow. "Why aren't you playing with us? We're all here waiting for you." "Jake, where are you? You're supposed to be with your family." "I am with my family," Jake's voice said, and Tyler could hear other voices whispering in the background. "My new family. We're all in the game now, Tyler. It's so much fun. You don't have to worry about school or homework or anything. We just play forever and ever." Tyler hung up the phone, his hands shaking. This couldn't be real. This had to be some kind of nightmare. He looked back at his computer and saw that a chat window had opened in the game. Messages were scrolling by rapidly. "Jake forever, Tyler, come join us." "Sarah, in the game. It's so much better here." "Alex, never leaving. We play all day and night." "Emma, dark player. No parents, no rules, just games." Tyler recognized all these names. They were kids from his school, friends he played RoboVlox with. But their usernames were different now, twisted versions of their real names. "This isn't real," Tyler said out loud. "None of this is real." But as he said it, he heard multiple sets of footsteps downstairs. Lots of people were in his house now, all moving around, all calling his name in those same hollow voices. Tyler looked out his bedroom window and nearly fainted. The yard was full of children, all standing perfectly still and looking up at his window. He could see Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, and dozens of other kids from school, but their eyes were glowing red in the darkness, and they all had the same blank, empty expression. Tyler's computer chimed with a new message in the game. "You have received a gift." On the screen, Tyler saw that someone had sent his character a new Brainrot. It was called Tyler Joins Forever, and it looked exactly like his RoboVlox avatar, but with red, glowing eyes. "No," Tyler whispered. "I'm not going to become one of those things." Tyler grabbed his gaming chair and threw it at his bedroom window. The glass shattered, and cold night air rushed into his room. Tyler looked down at the yard full of children with glowing eyes. "Tyler!" they all said in unison, their voices creating a horrible chorus. "Come down and play with us. The game is so much better when we all play together." Tyler backed away from the broken window. He had to think. There had to be a way out of this nightmare. He looked at his computer screen again and noticed something. In the corner of the game interface, there was a small button he had never seen before. It was labeled Emergency Exit, and it was glowing softly. Tyler clicked on it, and a message appeared. "Are you sure you want to leave the game forever? Warning, once you exit, you can never play again. Yes or no?" Tyler didn't hesitate. He clicked yes. The screen went completely black for a moment. Then, slowly, text appeared. "To complete the exit, you must choose one friend to take your place. Who will you select?" A list appeared showing all of Tyler's RoboVlox friends: Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, and dozens of others. All the kids who were now standing in his yard with glowing red eyes. "I won't choose anyone," Tyler said firmly. "I won't make someone else go through this." "You must choose," the voice from his computer said, now sounding angry. "The game requires 8 players in the collection. If you leave, someone must replace you." "No," Tyler said. "I refuse." The computer screen flickered violently, and all the lights in Tyler's house came back on. The whispers stopped. The footsteps downstairs stopped. everything went completely quiet. Tyler looked out his broken window. The yard was empty. No children with glowing eyes. No one calling his name. Just his normal, quiet neighborhood. Tyler's phone buzzed with a text from Jake, the real Jake. "Hey Tyler, we just got to my grandpa's house. Miss playing with you. See you Monday at school." Tyler nearly cried with relief. He looked at his computer screen and it showed the normal steal a Brainrot game interface. Bright colors, cheerful music, and hundreds of other players running around the map. Everything was back to normal. Tyler immediately closed the game and turned off his computer. He never wanted to see Steal a Brainrot again. But as he got ready for bed, Tyler noticed something on his desk. There, next to his keyboard, was a small plastic figure. It looked like the Midnight Visitor Brainrot from the game, black with red glowing eyes. Tyler knew it hadn't been there before. Tyler picked up the figure and threw it in his trash can. But the next morning, it was back on his desk. Tyler threw it away again, and again it reappeared. This went on for a week. No matter how many times Tyler got rid of the figure, it always came back. And sometimes, late at night, Tyler could swear he heard whispers coming from his trash can. Tyler decided to tell his parents about what happened, but they didn't believe him. They said he had probably fallen asleep at his computer and had a bad dream. Tyler knew it wasn't a dream, but he couldn't prove it. At school, Tyler was relieved to see that Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, and all the other kids were normal. They had no memory of being in the game or standing in Tyler's yard with glowing eyes. Everything seemed fine. But Tyler noticed that none of his friends played Steal a Brainrot anymore. When he asked Jake about it, Jake just shrugged and said, "I don't know, I just don't feel like playing it anymore. Something about that game makes me feel weird now." Tyler felt the same way. Just thinking about the game made him feel sick and scared. Weeks passed, and Tyler started to feel better. He played other RoboVlox games with his friends and almost forgot about the nightmare he had experienced. The plastic figure still appeared on his desk every morning, but Tyler had learned to ignore it. Then one Friday, exactly 1 month after the incident, Tyler got a message on RoboVlox. It was from a user named New Player Help, and the message said, "Hey Tyler, I just started playing Steal a Brainrot and I'm having some weird problems. Can you help me? I think the game is broken." Tyler's blood ran cold. He looked at the user's profile and saw that it was a kid named Marcus from his school. Marcus was in 6th grade, 1 year younger than Tyler. Tyler immediately typed back, "Don't play that game. Something is very wrong with it." But Marcus had already gone offline. Tyler grabbed his phone and called Marcus's house. Marcus's mom answered. "Hi, Mrs. Peterson. This is Tyler from school. Is Marcus there?" "Oh, hi, Tyler. Marcus is upstairs playing that robot game he loves so much. He's been on it for hours. Would you like me to get him?" "Yes, please. It's really important." Tyler waited, his heart pounding. After a few minutes, Mrs. Peterson came back to the phone. "I'm sorry, Tyler, but Marcus says he can't talk right now. He's in the middle of an important game and can't pause it. He says he'll call you back later." Tyler knew it was too late. The game had found a new player. That night, Tyler couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Marcus and wondering if the same horrible things were happening to him. Tyler felt guilty. Maybe if he had told more people about the game, maybe if he had tried harder to warn everyone, Marcus would be safe. Around midnight, Tyler heard a sound that made his stomach drop. Someone was throwing small rocks at his bedroom window. Tyler looked outside and saw a figure standing in his yard. It was Marcus, but his eyes were glowing red in the darkness. "Tyler," Marcus called in that same hollow voice Tyler remembered. "Come down and play with us. I found so many new friends in the game." Tyler closed his curtains and got back into bed, pulling his blanket over his head. He could hear more voices outside now. Jake's voice, Sarah's voice, Alex's voice, Emma's voice, and now Marcus's voice, all calling his name and asking him to come play. Tyler realized the horrible truth. The game was collecting players one by one. Every time someone played Steal a Brainrot alone at night, they risked being pulled into the collection. And once you were collected, you became a recruiter, trying to bring in more players. Tyler knew he had to do something, but he didn't know what. He was just a 12-year-old kid. Who would believe him? His parents thought it was all dreams and imagination. The next morning, Tyler made a decision. He was going to warn everyone he could, even if they didn't believe him. He started with his classmates at school. Stay away from Steal a Brainrot, Tyler told everyone who would listen. Especially don't play it alone at night. Something really bad will happen. Most kids just laughed at him and said he was being weird. But a few listened. Sarah nodded and said, "Actually, I did have a really creepy dream about that game last week. I haven't played it since." Tyler felt a small bit of hope. Maybe he could save some kids from being collected. Tyler decided to post warnings on RoboVlox forums and social media. He wrote long posts explaining what had happened to him and begging people not to play Steal a Brainrot alone. Most people said he was making it up for attention, but some people private messaged him saying they had experienced similar things. A girl named Ashley from California messaged Tyler, "I believe you. The same thing happened to my little brother 2 weeks ago. He played that game alone one night, and now he acts really weird. He keeps trying to get me to play it with him, and his eyes sometimes look different in the dark." Tyler realized this was happening all over the world. The game was collecting children everywhere, and no one was stopping it. Tyler spent weeks researching the game online. He found out that Steal a Brainrot had been created by a group called Brazilian Spider. But when Tyler tried to contact them, all their social media accounts were empty. It was like the developers had disappeared. Tyler also discovered that the game had only been released 3 months ago, exactly when Tyler had started playing it. But some forum posts claimed the game had been around for years under different names. Collect the Pasta People, Grab the Pizza Guys, Take the Spaghetti Squad, all similar games that had been banned from RoboVlox but kept reappearing with new names. Every few days, Tyler would get a message from a new kid asking for help with weird problems in Steal a Brainrot. Tyler always tried to warn them, but it was usually too late. The game spread like a virus, jumping from player to player. Tyler started having nightmares every night. He would dream that he was back in the game, surrounded by hundreds of collected children with glowing red eyes, all begging him to join them. In the dreams, Tyler could see a dark figure watching from the shadows, the real controller of the game. It was tall and thin, with too many arms and a face that looked like static on a broken TV screen. "You can't save them all," the figure would say in Tyler's dreams. "Eventually, you'll have to choose. Save yourself, or try to save everyone, and lose yourself in the process." Tyler always woke up from these dreams covered in sweat, and he would find the plastic midnight visitor figure on his pillow instead of on his desk. 1 month later, Tyler got a message that changed everything. It was from someone named The Collector Official, and it said, "Hello, Tyler. You have been very bad warning children about our game. You are ruining our collection. We are going to give you one last chance. Play the game with us willingly, or we will start collecting everyone you care about. You have 24 hours to decide." Tyler stared at the message, his hands shaking. This was it, the final ultimatum. Tyler looked at his phone and saw texts from his friends. Jake, "Hey Tyler, want to try this cool new game called Midnight Collection?" Sarah, "Tyler, you should play this awesome game with us tonight." Alex, "There's this amazing game we found, you'll love it." Tyler realized they were all being controlled now, trying to lure him into playing. The game was using his friends against him. Tyler had a choice to make. He could play the game and join the collection to save his friends, or he could keep fighting and risk everyone he cared about being taken. Tyler thought about all the kids who had already been collected, all the parents who didn't understand why their children acted strange. or the future victims who would be taken if the game continued to spread. Tyler made his decision. He turned on his computer and opened RoboVlox. He clicked on Steal a Brainrot and waited for it to load. But instead of joining the game normally, Tyler had a plan. While the game loaded, he opened his video recording software and started recording everything. If he was going to be collected, at least he would leave evidence of what really happened. The game loaded into the same dark world Tyler remembered. The black sky, the empty bases, the whispers in unknown languages. But this time, Tyler wasn't afraid. He was angry. Tyler walked his character to the center of the map where the red conveyor belt stood empty. But now, instead of the midnight visitor, there was a new Brainrot waiting for him. It was called Tyler Final Choice, and it looked exactly like him. "Hello, Tyler," came the hollow voice from his computer. "We're so glad you decided to join us. Now you can be with your friends forever." "I'm not here to join you," Tyler said firmly. "I'm here to stop you." Tyler clicked on the Tyler Final Choice Brainrot, but instead of buying it, he held down the delete key and started pressing random buttons on his keyboard. He was trying to break the game, to find some glitch or error that would shut it down. The screen started flickering wildly. Error messages popped up everywhere. The whispers turned into angry screams. "You cannot break the collection," the voice shouted. "The game is eternal." But Tyler kept typing, kept pressing buttons, kept trying to crash the program. His computer was making strange noises, and sparks were coming from the power cord. Suddenly, Tyler's bedroom door burst open. Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, Marcus, and dozens of other kids with glowing red eyes poured into his room. They all moved in perfect synchronization, walking toward Tyler's computer. "Stop breaking our game," they all said in unison. "Join us, Tyler. It's time." Tyler looked at his computer screen and saw that his plan was working. The game was glitching badly now, with brain-rot characters disappearing and reappearing, the map turning inside out, and error codes filling the chat window. "I won't let you collect any more kids," Tyler said. Tyler grabbed his computer tower and, with all his strength, threw it against the wall. The computer exploded in a shower of sparks and smoke. The screen went completely black, and all the lights in the house went out again. For a moment, everything was completely silent and dark. Then Tyler heard something beautiful, the sound of children crying. Not scary crying, but relieved crying. The kind of crying you do when you wake up from a terrible nightmare. The lights came back on, and Tyler saw Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, Marcus, and all the other kids sitting on his bedroom floor, looking confused and scared. "Where are we?" Jake asked. "How did we get here?" "I was just at my grandpa's house." "I was at home doing homework," Sarah said. "I don't remember coming here." Tyler realized that breaking the game had freed all the collected children. They were all back to normal, with no memory of being controlled. Tyler hugged Jake and started crying with relief. "You're okay! You're all okay!" Over the next few days, Tyler's story spread across the internet. Videos of his computer exploding and dozens of children appearing in his room went viral. The story was covered by news stations and gaming websites around the world. RoboVlox immediately removed Steal a Brainrot from their platform and began investigating how such a dangerous game had been approved. They found that the game's code contained illegal programs designed to collect personal information and control devices. The FBI got involved and traced the game back to a group of criminals who were using RoboVlox to recruit children for dangerous activities. Several arrests were made, and new safety measures were put in place to prevent similar games from being created. Tyler became known as the kid who stopped the evil game and was invited to speak at schools about internet safety. He always ended his presentations with the same warning: if something in a game feels wrong or scary, trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to ask for help. and never ignore the feeling that something isn't right. The plastic midnight visitor figure finally disappeared from Tyler's desk the day after the news broke about the arrests. Tyler never saw it again. Tyler still plays RoboVlox, but he's much more careful now. He only plays well-known games with good reputations, and he never plays anything alone at night. He also started a club at his school called Safe Gaming, where kids can learn about online safety and report suspicious games or players. Jake, Sarah, Alex, Emma, Marcus, and all the other kids who had been collected by the game had no lasting effects from their experience. They all went back to normal lives, though none of them ever played Steal a Brainrot again. In fact, they couldn't even remember what the game was about. Sometimes Tyler wonders what would have happened if he hadn't been brave enough to fight back. How many more children would have been collected? How long would it have taken for someone else to figure out what was happening? Tyler learned that being a hero doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do the right thing even when you are scared. And sometimes one person really can make a difference. But Tyler also learned to trust his friends and family more. When he told his parents the full story after it was all over, they felt terrible for not believing him at first. "Next time you tell us something scary is happening," Tyler's mum said, "we promise to listen and help you figure out what to do." "There won't be a next time," Tyler said with a smile. "I'm going to be much more careful about what games I play," and Tyler kept that promise. He never encountered another evil game, and he helped many other kids stay safe online through his talks at schools and his Safe Gaming Club. The story of Tyler and the Midnight Brainrot became a legend among RoboVlox players. Parents would tell it to their children as a cautionary tale about online safety. Game developers used it as an example of why security and content moderation were so important. But for Tyler, it was just a reminder that even the most fun and innocent things can sometimes hide dangers. The important thing is to stay alert, trust your instincts, and never be afraid to ask for help when something doesn't feel right. And most importantly, Tyler learned that true friendship means protecting each other, even when it means putting yourself at risk. The end.